All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for the webinar where we are going to be discussing some commonly asked questions and topics that come into our TA team. So thank you for joining the Ask a Recruiter webinar. My name is Justin Stull. I'm our talent acquisition strategist for us here at CSC, and I will be your moderator for today's webinar. Before we get started, I just wanted to make a few quick announcements. So the audience will remain on mute for the duration of our session. However, you can answer your questions, comments in the QA widget that is located on your screen. You can do that at any time during the presentation. We're going to take some time towards the end of the presentation, the slide deck, to go over some of the questions that come in through the QA session, and we'll be able to answer hopefully as many as we can in today's session. At the bottom of your screen, there's going to be multiple application widgets that you can use. So all of those widgets are resizable, they're movable. Feel free to put them wherever you need on their screen that makes the most sense for you and to really help you maximize your desktop space. You can also expand the slide area on the side there to maximize your screen, or you can get it to a full screen by clicking on the arrows in the top right corner as well. And also in the resource widget, on the right-hand side of your screen, you're going to be able to find a downloadable PDF copy of today's presentation and links to CSC's career site, blog, and social channels. So feel free to, check any of those out, download the resources, and hopefully that you find those helpful for you moving forward. So with that being said, again, my name is Justin Stull. I'm the talent acquisition strategist for us here at CSC. I've been with the organization now for about 7.5 years. Primarily come from a talent acquisition background and now help with filling the funnel, talent acquisition strategy, onboarding, interview scheduling, recruitment marketing, a lot of those fun things. So, and I am joined today by Adrienne and Christina, who are both excellent members of our talent acquisition team. And I'll turn it over to Adrienne to give a little intro of herself as well.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for our Ask a Recruiter webinar. Really happy to have you here. As Justin said, I am a talent acquisition partner with CSC. I've been with the company about 18 months now, and honestly, my only regret is I wish I joined sooner. I support hiring for our shared services organization, so that includes accounting and finance, marketing, legal, compliance, and I also support hiring for our oldest and largest unit, corporate legal services, for their sales positions. I come from an agency background and enjoyed a variety of roles with them. I was everything from talent acquisition to community relations, and even did a little business development. But as I said, I have a very focused role here in recruitment. I love it, and I'm so excited that you've joined us. Can't wait. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Adrienne. And Christina, you want to introduce yourself?
I'd love to. Thank you, Justin. Hi, everybody. My name is Christina Schivley. I'm a global talent acquisition partner here at CSC. I'm so pleased to be here. I have over 15 years of total recruiting experience. I've been with CSC for over 3 years, and I recruit for multiple departments, but mainly support our digital brand services business unit. The positions I focus on really vary. They range from project management and accounting roles to customer service and sales. Prior to my time with CSC, like Adrienne, I have an agency background. I was with a staffing firm called Ronstadt for over 13 years as a senior recruiter. I love recruiting. I feel privileged to connect with candidates all over the globe and fill our positions throughout North America, EMEA, and our APAC regions.
Awesome. Thanks, Adrienne. Thanks, Christina. And thanks to everyone for joining. So really excited. You got some very passionate people here about talent acquisition and recruiting. So we'll look forward to talking a little bit more about what's going on in the recruiting process here at CSC, and hopefully give you guys some good pointers. So just looking at today's agenda, right? So we'll go over a brief overview of CSC. So for those of you that don't know a little bit about us, we'll kind of give some background history there. We'll look at the overall hiring process and what that looks like. We'll take a look at some of the most common questions that we get on a regular basis. And then we'll spend some time answering questions that come in from today's session and your questions and things that you want to know today. And then we'll have a couple minutes at the end. We'll wrap up. We'll do some closing. We've got a poll question for you, just in terms of maybe for some future webinar ideas and things that you might be interested in learning some more about. So that's our agenda for today. It's going to be a quick one. We've already gone through about 5 minutes of the webinar and got 25 to go. So it's going to be an action-packed finish here. So with that, without further delay, let's move on here to find a little bit more about CSC. So, we really, we always say we're the business behind the business, right? And that really is kind of our tagline here, right? We really help businesses excel and achieve great things in what they do. And we were established in 1899, have been around for over 100 years. And CSC is a privately held business. We're headquartered in Wilmington, Delaware. So we are an industry leading, we're an international company dedicated to really making business easier, less risky, and more profitable. We've been honored with the top workplace designation in several locations for multiple years in a row. I know we have some locations that have been in 13, 14 years in a row to have that nomination. So pretty awesome there. We've got office locations and capabilities in more than 140 jurisdictions. And we also have more than 7,500 employees distributed across the Americas, EMEA, and Asia Pacific regions. So, kind of on a second side of it, right, a little bit more on the culture side of who we are, right, I think we really try to live by a set of values, right, and I do truly believe that, this drives a lot of the people and CSC in terms of what we do. So, when you look at what those core values are, we've got service, teamwork, tenacity, agility, and being genuine. And I think you'll find that all employees of CSC bring these different elements to the table, and I think also help us, be a successful company and have these successful partnerships across the business. So looking at service, right, we're really passionate about our pursuit of customer satisfaction, right? Whether that's internal people that we're working with or external people that we're working with, we want to deliver excellence. We want a great experience from end to end. And so customer service is really one of our number one priorities and really core to our values. The next one that we talked about was teamwork, right? And I think you'll find that we really do try to work together and come up with creative ways to solve problems. And I feel like we produce very superior results by working together. And you'll hear this often around the CSC world, is that we really believe that 1 + 1 is greater than 2, right? So coming together and really figuring out how can we deliver excellence. Tenacity, right? We are a tenacious bunch. We make quick, informed decisions. We take action. We stick with it, and we get the job done, right? We always are going to find the best way to do that. And we may not always have the right answer, but we've got a great team in place that we can lean on to make sure that we do find the best way to get that done. Agility, right? This is something that I think we have really found out how agile we can be over the last couple of years, given the pandemic and a lot of the changes in the world over the last few years and the changes to the recruitment marketplace and what that looks like. And we embrace change, right? We are never happy with the status quo. We always want to adapt, look for ways to get better. So we're never complacent, right? We're always trying to innovate and look for that next opportunity for us. And then genuine. I really feel like this is one of the best elements of people here at CSC, is that they are truly genuine. We're straightforward, we're open, we're honest, and I think we operate with high levels of integrity and care. Really ultimately, we're trying to build trust, right? And I think by being genuine, we're able to deliver, great service, great teamwork, be tenacious, and we're agile. So, again, just to kind of give some background into really what our core values are and what makes up the values of CSC. All right, so looking at the hiring process, right? And I don't think this is going to be anything too earth-shattering to a lot of you. For us, it's pretty straightforward in terms of our hiring process, but just to give you a little bit of an overview of what that's going to look like. So number one, to apply, you can find our jobs posted on a variety of different career sites, right? We're on LinkedIn, we've got Glassdoor, we've got partnerships with Indeed. So a lot of the main channels that you're going to find jobs you'll find those there. We also have partnerships with other sites, like Built in Chicago or Built in Network or the Muse, right? As well as our own careers page. So there's a variety of different ways to find out about openings here at CSC. If there's not something that you're looking for on our careers page, you can always sign up to be part of our talent community, which gives you additional insight, email notifications around new positions that are open, webinars, different things that we're doing, thought leadership pieces, right? So you're always able to find new opportunities and new positions, in the apply process. So once the applications are in, then our team of talent acquisition partners will go ahead and review those applications, and we're looking for those skills and qualifications that align with the positions, and looking for candidates that match up with those skills and qualifications that we're looking for. So once we get to that point, then we move into phase 3, right, which is going to be our assessments and testing section. So I wouldn't say that this is 100% across all positions, but there are a lot of positions that do utilize some form of this, right? Could be maybe it's a finance and accounting position that uses a lot of Excel, and we may have an Excel assignment for you to do. Maybe it's a customer service role, and we're looking for somebody bilingual, and you're going to be supporting a Japanese-speaking market. Maybe we need to translate an email for us, and how would you respond to these different situations? Could be something on the development side, where maybe you're going to be doing a software development problem or situation and putting together a solution so that we can really get a sense of truly your skills and qualifications beyond just that piece of paper that's your resume, right? So that's another tool for us, again, to really look for people that are, bring those skills and qualifications to the table. So, from that step, then we move into the interview phase. And I would say for the most part, this is going to be the experience that you'll get from position to position. And that's going to be where, you'll be doing an interview with the HR team. Then you'll be moving to talking with one of our team leads, and then most likely be wrapping up with one of the managers or somebody from that team, right? So typically you're looking at like a 2 to 3 step process from an interview standpoint. Then obviously moving to job offers. We do pre-employment, where we've got background checks, onboarding, all that fun stuff, right? So again, like I said, nothing too crazy there, but just giving you all a quick overview of our hiring process. All right, so now that we've got a little background on CSC, who we are, let's get to why everyone is here today, right? What are some things that we commonly get asked from the recruiting side of things? So here are a couple common hiring questions that we pre-selected, and we've got some good answers for you, hopefully. So to start off with, Adrienne, would you want to kind of give us some feedback around how you would describe the culture here at CSC?
Yeah, I absolutely would. But in this particular case, I would defer to Christina, because I know that this is her favorite question of all to answer of candidates who she talks to.
Guilty. Guilty as charged, Adrienne. I love getting this question. I do backflips in my mind when someone asks about our corporate culture. Our culture is really special. And it's one of the reasons I started with CSC all those years ago. At our core, we are, as Justin said, we're really values driven. The most commonly used word to describe CSC by our employees is inclusive. And I'm really proud of that, and I think it speaks volumes. We really strive to foster an environment where people can be their best, most authentic selves. So, in addition, I'm really proud of the dedication to community outreach through our CSC Gives Back program. And there we strive to make communities better off tomorrow than they are today. We're really proud of the fact that, as Justin said, we've been named the top workplace across several locations in Wilmington. I know 16 years in a row, but several locations throughout the U.S. and we've been named a national top workplace as well. And I think it's because, our employees regard us highly. And I think it's because of that vibrant corporate culture.
No, absolutely. No, thanks, Christina. That's great feedback. I know that's really what kind of attracted me to the position when I first came here. I wasn't necessarily looking, but as I started talking to the people and learning more about the culture and the people that I'd be getting to work with, it really sold me on the opportunity. And all of a sudden, I was like, well, maybe I am looking to make a move. So, and 7.5 years later, here we are. So it's true. Really values driven and a great culture here. So thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, as we look at the next question here, we've got how much team collaboration can I expect? Can we get a little bit more insight into, what we would see on the collaboration side of things?
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to take that. And it certainly is a commonly asked question. So one that I like to field. And I would say, obviously, the collaboration or the level of collaboration can depend on the size of the team. It's always there, though. Whether you are an individual contributor or a leader, you can expect that your input is going to be appreciated and, as I said, expected. And pointing to what you said earlier, Justin, I mean, we do really believe in the power of the team. The 1 + 1 is greater than 2. So there's always going to be, the appreciation for ideas and innovations. So yes, collaboration is huge here at CSC.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Right. I can't think of all the times, that you're in a meeting with somebody on your team and they bring up such a great idea that maybe you didn't think about, or you're working on a problem and you just know that there's somebody in your corner that's going to help you figure out that problem, or, and give you a solution for that if you're struggling with a project or a different scenario that comes up. And I definitely value that, right? You have opportunities to work on your own, but you also have these great team opportunities and chances to work in that collaborative environment, which is a lot of fun. So. Very cool. Well, so going now to the next question. So what do you like about working at CSC? So I'm sure there's a lot of great things that we can hear, but interested to hear what the team has to say about this one. Christina, is this one of the ones that you want to give us a handful, some insight into?
Yes. Sure. Happy to. I for what I like most about CSC, hard to get it down to a little sound bite. But I always think of the people, because we are values driven, regardless of title department. I find that, the teams here at CSC, they're really passionate. And at the center of everything is an environment that really fosters a lot of teamwork and has a genuine regard for one another's well-being. So it comes down to the people. And also, we're a company that we've been around for over 100 years, but, we've doubled in size in the last year. We doubled in size a couple of years ago before that. So we have deep roots with boundless potential. So I love that we have the enduring roots. We've been in business for so long, but there's so much upward mobility. A third of our positions are filled internally. So I, would have to say the people, the deep roots, and the stability, and then all the upward mobility, with all those positions that we fill internally as well. So a lot of growth within your career and career pathing that goes on.
Excellent. Yeah, no, I would agree. And, I think you kind of answered a little bit about the next question as well, just in terms of career path, right?
Yeah,
whether that's within the team that you have, you come into, or maybe it's another team, right? I think that's one of the great things, that there is a lot of not only upward mobility, but maybe you want to branch off into another area of our business. Mm-hmm. You find that that's really interesting. So I think there's just a lot of opportunities for people to make your career what you want it within CSC. So I think we kind of answered that last question there as well. And I know we're getting a bunch of questions coming in from the audience. I'm excited to get to some of those. And I know we've already cruised through almost 20 minutes of the presentation already. So definitely want to give some time to those questions. So with that being said, let's go ahead and look at some questions here. So the first one we have: are there opportunities for someone that lives internationally? I can go ahead and take this one. So yes, there are definitely opportunities for someone that lives internationally. We are a global organization. We have offices, across EMEA region. We also have positions in India and Asia Pacific. So there are definitely opportunities. Those will vary, I think, depending on the type of skill set that you're looking at. But we do operate now, here in the Americas, EMEA, as well as, like I said, Asia Pacific. Those are all listed on our career site as well. So, definitely opportunities there. And similarly, we provide career mobility to those folks that are globally based as well, right? So I think there's a lot of great opportunities, across the globe for individuals looking for positions. Christina or Adrienne, anything to add to that?
No, only that a lot of times when we do have a position posted, you can see the office locations where we have our focuses. So just to keep an eye out for that.
Absolutely. Yep. All right. So next question we've got coming in here. What advice would you give to someone who has an employment gap on their resume? Christina, Adrienne, either one of you have any advice for somebody?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say, deal with it head on. It's there. I'll know it's there when I see it on the resume. And it's really just best to be honest. Call it out, just to admit that you do have that gap rather than having to, having somebody need to ask you about it, talk about it. Obviously, a lot of understanding around that with the pandemic. There was definitely some gaps for people due to that. I mean, obviously, economic conditions, layoffs, there's so many reasons. And there's also so many things that someone may have done to fill in that gap. Did they volunteer somewhere? Did they take a class and get a certification? Did they increase their knowledge of, technology skill set? There's just so many things and so many reasons. It's really just about an honest conversation, and it's one of our values, being genuine. So I would say it's just something that you really do need to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree. And I think that's a great call out too, right? Is there opportunities? Did you take any classes? Were you, advancing your skill set during that time as well? I think there's some great things that you can add to there. So, Christina, anything to add to that?
No, I think Adrienne said it really well. If you do have a gap, if you can speak to recent experiences you've had in volunteering, as she said, or if you've taken classes and honed skills and especially, software applications, Microsoft Word or Excel, I think that is great to show that you have those competencies,
absolutely.
Honed. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Awesome. No, thank you both. All right, awesome. Well, the questions are flowing, so let's get to another one here. This one is, what is better quality in a resume? Short and simple or detailed? Either one of you have some feedback for this person around what is better quality in a resume, short and simple or detailed?
I guess I can take this, but I'm sure that Christina will have some valuable additions. What I would say is that it depends on the role. I think that if you're talking about a role that's more tactical, then a shorter, to the point kind of resume is what you want to see. If you're talking about, a senior leader role, you want more detail. You definitely want to see more of that specifics, more of the highlights, more of the accomplishments. I think that's all part of a really complete resume at that level. It really does depend on the position. Christina, how would you add anything to that?
No, I agree, Adrienne. And I would say for entry-level positions or mid-level positions, you can really, for the most part, stick to one page. I think trying to get it on one page is great. But anything very specialized, high level, executive level, anything like that, you're going to want to add more detail. But for the most part, I would say for generally speaking, I would say try to keep it to one page if it's more of an entry level to mid-level position. But yeah, certainly more than that for anything else.
No, agreed. I think that's great feedback. And I think the one thing I would add to that, in terms of the detail is make them relevant details, right? It's one thing to have a lot of information on there. But I think, adding things on there, I raised sales revenues by 20%. That's great. But how did you do that, right? I think adding context and some how to some of those details and some of those statistics, I think really can kind of showcase the things that you're doing and what the steps were that you took to achieve those. So I think detail is great when it adds value to the resume that way. So awesome. All right, here we go. We got another one. excuse me. So I will be graduating in April. I've applied for an internship. Are there any new grad positions?
I can take this one. I would say specific to CSC, we do have, if you're interested in an internship, we have some opportunities. But in terms of full-time permanent opportunities, I know our Corporate and Legal Solutions business unit, which is our largest, frequently you'll see a customer service associate. That's a example of an entry-level position. So I would look out for something like that. We have a number of entry-level positions, and it'll kind of state that on the posting itself. So do be on the lookout for our website to look for those positions that are entry-level. They are there.
Yep, absolutely. Right. And those are things too, as you sign up for career notifications, you can kind of set those up and get obviously notifications if there are some of those positions, but certainly able to kind of filter out and look through. But we do have a variety of teams that offer opportunities for new grads as well. So, all right. So it looks like we're kind of getting to the end of time here. I can't believe how quickly this half an hour has gone by. I'm sure there's more questions here, and we'd love to get to them all, but I think we've got time for one more. So this one is, let's see what we got. Is it recommended that a candidate reapply for a position after being turned down? It says position, company as well. So somebody applies, they get turned down. Do you recommend that they reapply? Thoughts?
I can take this. Yes, we would recommend that they reapply. There could be a number of reasons why they were turned down the first time. As Christina indicated earlier, we fill a third of our positions internally, as we do believe in that, promoting our internal people. We certainly want to consider external as well, and we're always open to a conversation, because just because somebody didn't land that position the first time, it doesn't mean that there wouldn't be reason to consider them in the future. I think it's really all about, having that follow-up conversation. Let's talk about it and have some focus. I wouldn't say apply to everything, or reapply to everything, but I would say really go for where do you have passion? Where do you have enthusiasm and the right skill set? And again, it's all about the conversation, which we're more than happy to have.
Absolutely. And I would add to that, trust your talent acquisition partner. They're very smart and good at what they do. And sometimes they may know about positions that you didn't even think about that you could be qualified for. I can't tell you how many times that we've seen that where, I applied for a customer service position. And then they're like, well, actually, you'd be a really good fit over here, too. Mm-hmm. And then that person ends up getting their foot in the door in another team that they didn't even think about applying for. So trust your talent acquisition partners, have those conversations and be open-minded about new opportunities that you might be might be qualified for. So.
And I would just add really quickly to that, some of our best employees, our most valued employees, they had applied 2 or 3 times before they were, offered and accepted the role. And sometimes it's just a matter of timing and the right position at the right time. Like Adrienne said, be judicious about what you're applying for. Don't apply, apply for everything. But if you're qualified and you're interested and you've applied before, go ahead and apply again.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. No, great feedback, and I appreciate the insights there. So I wish we had time for some more questions here. This is going great so far, and it seems like there's been a lot of interest. So hopefully we'll get a chance to do this again soon and to go through some of these additional questions. But, obviously feel free to kind of keep in touch, download some of these resources that we've got here, and we can certainly try to continue the conversation as we move forward. So just looking quickly here, we've got, some positions as far as things that we're currently hiring for, right? To give you an idea of some of those positions. So in the tech space, we've got systems engineers, we've got marketing specialists, we've got some transaction managers and admin assistants from the global financial side of things. And we talked about international opportunities as well, right? So you notice here, London, we've got Luxembourg, Singapore, Germany, Sophia Antipolis, right? So not only here in the States, but we've got several international positions as well when it comes to things that we have. And we have a variety of different skill levels, right? Customer service representatives to senior technical business analysts to systems engineers, right? So a variety of different positions, variety of different experience levels, and a variety of different locations. So definitely keep an eye on the careers page, and feel free, like I said, to kind of apply where it makes sense, and then we can kind of pick up the conversation from there. So those are some of the open positions that we've got right now. And as always, right, definitely feel free to follow us on our social media sites if you haven't already done so. We've got Facebook, Twitter, and a variety of different LinkedIn pages, the Muse. You can find us again on on Glassdoor and Indeed, and a bunch of other sites as well. So there's a lot of ways to get in touch with us and to be able to follow and get additional updates on careers. We do a lot of career posting and kind of career development posting on these different channels. So feel free to check those out, and you'll get additional updates through those sites as well. So with that, we really appreciate everyone's time today and all the questions and participation. This is great. Definitely a lot of fun for me. This is a kind of a whirlwind 30 minutes. But hopefully, we found, you are all finding this valuable and got some good insight into what we're doing. So before we do wrap up, we do have one poll question. We are looking to do a series of these webinars, and hopefully you find it valuable, but we're interested in what are the things that you want to learn about, right? So if you've got time, we'd love to hear from you in terms of what are you interested in from the next Ask a Recruiter webinar. Is there tech-specific ones? We want to look at entry-level, global roles, service positions. So we've got a few different options for us moving forward here, and we'd love to hear your feedback if you have some time to go ahead and leave us some feedback. And again, if you need any questions or looking for the materials, you can download the PDF and get a copy of all today's materials in the resource widget. That'll give you everything that we went over today. So with that being said, thank you so much to everyone for joining. We really appreciate it, and hopefully this is helpful. So thanks, everyone, and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.